Colleyville Fire Department recently purchased a new training device to allow for lifelike practice of medical treatment. Let's head to the Central Fire Station to learn more from Chief Mark Cantrell. Good morning, Chief.
Morning.
Thanks for being here. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about our training simulators. But before we talk about that, can you give us a little insight as to why it's so important for our firefighters to have lots of medical training?
Yeah, so one of the most important things that some people may not realize is that it's a majority of the calls that we run. Upwards of about 60% of the calls that we run are EMS related. And so it becomes extremely important, and it's also an opportunity for us to really make a difference in people's lives.
And so your staff is really prepared to respond to just about anything. They are obviously certified firefighters, but what other sorts of certifications do they carry?
Yeah, so we're required to be paramedics. We do hire people as EMT basics and send them to paramedic school. But as a part of that requirement is they have ongoing training that they have to complete. And so they do lots of training every year to get their hours that they need, but more importantly, we do in-house training to give them really realistic training to help them perform better.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about what we've got here on the table in front of us.
So what we have here is iSimulate Reality. And what it is, it's the most advanced cardiac monitoring simulator on the market. And so what it does is it simulates what our cardiac monitor does. We use this monitor on almost every call that we run. It gives us real-time patient data to help us diagnose and treat our patients. It gives us heart rate, it gives us cardiac rhythm, it gives us blood pressure, it gives us all of the information that we need to diagnose and treat. So what this does is it simulates that. It essentially is a video representation of what the monitor does. Before, when we would run a simulation training, so say a mock CPR event, we would have an instructor and it would all be verbal commands and verbal information. And so you didn't get that realistic approach to training. What this machine does is it uses two iPads essentially, and it gives the instructor the ability to change information into the monitor as the scenario progresses. And so it gives our paramedics real-time data as a part of the simulation.
That's pretty incredible training opportunity.
Absolutely.
And so we just bought one of these, correct?
That's correct.
Wonderful. And so over time, you anticipate that this will be incorporated into the training routines for all of our staff in the fire department?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just for cardiac events, it's for almost any call that we want to simulate. But we do what we call Mega Code Mondays. So on Mondays, they run simulated cardiac events. And so this piece of equipment will get used at least once or twice a week.
And I know we can't talk about cardiac events without talking about the really amazing results that your team has had as a result of all of their hard work and training. So share with Colleyville citizens, some of the amazing saves that you guys have had.
Yeah, so we've had some really incredible save rates. We had upwards of 20 people over the last 2 to 3 years who have successfully walked out of the hospital after a cardiac event. But more importantly, I think we have to realize is it is not only our training and preparedness, but it's our community's effort too. We have community CPR program. We have access to great medical care in the city of Colleyville. We have access to hospitals almost on every end of our city with some of the latest and greatest doctors and diagnostic equipment that there is. So it's truly a team effort that we have the ability to do this.
Well, thanks so much for telling us a little bit about your new cardiac monitoring tools and sharing the details with Colleyville citizens.
Thank you.